Festival season is here. It's one of my favorite times of year because it means live music, being outdoors, living my best life with drinks on a lawn. What is not to love? But it doesn't mean that I'm going to put these fragrances down. I'm going to smell good regardless, and I want you to smell good as well. So I'm about to share some of my favorite festival faves with you, regardless of the kind of festival I am going to, because there are different types that I'm into. So from Bohemian Bliss type fragrances to sweet Serenade fragrances for the next Jazz Fest you are going to, because I love going to those. I'm going to share some of my favorite fragrances for the outdoor vibes occasions that are coming up over the next few months. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, you love a fragrancy video, stick around and let's get into it.
What you doing to me? Let me know how you feel. Make it time for ya. If it's real, we can build, hold it down for.
Hi, I'm Jeanique and music is life. It always has been, which is why I don't trust anybody who don't like music like that, because what is wrong with you? I'm not judging, but basically, now music fests aren't the only kind of festivals happening this festival season. We got art fest, film fest, movie fest, beer fest, food fest, all kinds of fun entertainment happening outdoors with booze and friends and vibes and fun. What is not to love? It is a vibe. But music fests are my favorite. I can't lie to you. And the inspiration for this video, and I'm going to be organizing the fragrances I present to you by the type of music fests that are out there that I like anyway, and hopefully this is useful to you if you are looking for a great outdoor summertime, springtime fragrance you can wear to a festival of your own. Now we're going to start off with Bohemian Bliss fragrances, think Lollapalooza. Then we're going to get into Electric Energy, think Tomorrowland. We're going to get into Sunset Serenade, think the Montreal International Jazz Festival. And then we're going to finish off with Tropical Oasis, inspired by my many visits to some fest and Sting. That is what we're doing today. So if you love a perfumey conversation, you think I'm adorable because I am, basically, then please subscribe, please like the video, and let's get into these supple fragrances for this festival season. Coachella is behind us, basically, but we have so many more ahead that are probably better because they're not so influencer heavy. I'm not being a hater, I'm just saying.
I can get what's meant for ya. All my love is on the line, and it's up to ya. You got friends, I got friends, put my eyes on ya.
We're going to start off real low key with it. Fragrances that give free-spirited, earthy, boho vibes that are really understated and beautiful, simple in what they're giving without just disappearing on the body. And that shine in sunnier days, warmer days, those are the ones that I want to highlight for you right now. We're going to start off with one of my favorite fragrances for the season overall, not just for festivals, and it is Zen by Shiseido. Now this is a mix of white florals, and we have a lot of citrus, grapefruit, bergamot, orange, lemon. They're all thrown in here to give this a very fresh, bright feel. It's like this color. It's very bright. It's a little bit sparkly. There are things like freesia and gardenia in here to help ground the fragrance. In the base, we have a little bit of amber, patchouli. That patchouli is patchouliing in this one. If you don't like patchouli, you may not like this one. So a little bit of incense, just a little bit of, I don't know, smoky dimension to this fragrance. But really, it feels earthy, simple, a little bit fresh. It kind of smells a little bit soapy as well. Beautiful, simple, just wonderful summery kind of fragrance that doesn't try too hard. I really love this one. Really underrated fragrance that's just giving that really beautiful citrusy, earthy energy that is perfect for this festival season. Now let's go a little bit lighter with it. This is Zara's Exotic Mimosa. Now this has Mimosa, which is a very light, slightly soapy yellow floral, very fresh in what it is giving. There are some green notes in here. Again, really simple, stripped back, nothing too aggressive. This fragrance is mostly watery. That is what it is giving. Really easygoing, not trying too hard. You're barely wearing anything. They say there's some powderiness in this. I don't get it. It's just this very light, watery, fresh kind of scent that leans into these more floral aspects. Beautiful fragrance for festivals, just very easygoing and not trying too hard. What is really nice about this especially is during the summer when it heats up and your body is heating up, this really performs beautifully because it's starting off so light that even when it amps up, it's still not going to overtake you, going to overwhelm you, not going to suffocate you. Really lovely one. If you like a yellow floral and you like a greener kind of fragrance, beautiful. Since we're still talking about Bohemian Bliss and we're talking about greener kinds of fragrance that give an earthier kind of energy, we had to do it. Y'all knew it. We had to do it. This is Chloe Nomad Absolute, one of my favorite greener, woodier kinds of fragrance. Y'all know how I love Chloe Nomad already, and I love this just as much, maybe even more. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Now this has Mirabelle. It has this kind of sweet, fresh, kind of like, it was almost like burst in your mouth kind of fresh fruit that has a little bit of tang to it. Has some Davana, so a little bit of greenness, a whole heaping dose of oak moss, so this wet kind of greenness, almost a tea-like greenness, but it's moss on the floor of the jungle. You know what I mean? Like the Amazon jungle is kind of wet and green. You take that in, you smell that comes in. There's some sandalwood in here, nice and creamy, really simple, and some musk. It's a very simple fragrance, but if you like a greener, woodier fragrance for those Lollapalooza vibes, this does that incredibly well. Really pretty without being too aggressive. If you enjoy those greener, fresher sort of smells, Nomad does it very well while keeping it real classy. I love this one. Next, we're getting into Electric Energy. Now, these are the fragrances inspired by those raves, EDM concerts, those festivals that are high energy, all about dancing all night, non-stop, and the kind of fragrances that are going to work well in those kinds of environments. I have 3 fragrances here that I want to get into. I'm going to start off with the most tart, citrusy, sour fragrance, working my way up to the sweetest of the options, because of course I got a sweet option here for you that is high energy and sparkly and a lot of fun as well. Dolce & Gabbana's L'Imperatrice 3. This is a beautiful citrusy rhubarb watermelon fragrance that just pulls no punches. It is an aggressive type of fragrance. You gotta love a tart perfume in order to get into this. Now, when you first spray it, the watermelon smell is almost nostalgic. It knocks you back because it is such a bright, sweet watermelon that it is so fresh and happy, and you just can't help but love that opening. Then we get that rhubarb. It's very sour, it's tart. You can feel it almost in the back of your throat right here because it is very like punchy and it's a lot, and I am into it, especially on hotter days where it just amplifies. It just reads kind of fresh to me, and like you're not trying too hard. It's very unapologetic in what it is giving. It's a little bit watery, that watermelon, very light, very bright, very happy, but very sour. So if that's your thing, here we go. L'Imperatrice 3, one of my absolute favorites as far as citrus fragrances go. And it's not technically all the way a citrus fragrance because that rhubarb is doing a lot of work, but it gives that citrusy vibe because of all of that sourness, that tartness, that greenness, that freshness, that wateriness. That is what this is giving, and it is fucking fantastic. I absolutely love this one. We're gonna get a little bit sweeter with it, and this is Versace's Versense. Hello. Now this is a much lighter, softer, sweeter take on citrus. If you find L'Imperatrice 3 just be a little bit too aggressive, but you want to still get citrus just slightly sweeter, then Versense is one that I think is an easy reach, especially in the summer months because it is such a light touch as far as a fragrance go. This has all of the citrus in them. It just has citruses. It has bergamot. We got some orange in here. We have other fruit, watery fruit like fig. It's a greener fig that's in here, a little bit of a sweet pear, nothing overly so. We have some white florals, we have some soft florals like carnation in this one, and we have a couple of grounding woody notes that aren't too pronounced, they aren't too aggressive, they're very light. This is the kind of fragrance you're wearing with like a linen dress on at a festival. It's very light, it's very airy, it's not trying too hard. You don't want anything that's too overpowering, too aggressive, especially when you're close to other bodies, but it is a very nice sweeter take on citrus that I really do appreciate. So Versant is another one. This one is an older fragrance. It's been out for a while now. You can usually find this pretty affordably on Amazon and discount websites. I will look it up. I'll see if I can link it below. But this one is a vibe. I like this fragrance a whole lot. Now we're going to finish off with one of my favorite fragrances in the Our Fragrance world. I've spoke about this fragrance before. Y'all know I love this one because I stay talking about her and I'm never going to stop. And it is Swiss Arabian's boom boom boom. It is Casablanca. Y'all know how I feel about this fragrance. Now this is tart apple. It sort of gives pineapple vibes, but it could be like a tartar apple kind of fragrance with some grapes in it. We have a few floral notes. Mostly what we're getting is this sort of lightly sweet caramel. It's very pretty. I'd say that's the star player in here. But why is it in this section? I feel like this is a very eclectic, fun, electric kind of fragrance. This feels fun. I put this on, I'm in a good fucking mood. Every time I wear this, I feel good about it. It's just a fragrance that puts me in a really positive headspace, low-key. It's really happy, sweet, fun, fresh, but it has a little bit of pop to it. It has a little bit of extra something to it. There is Peru balsam, so making it a little bit richer, darker, warmer, right? And then there is some suede in here, and it's unexpected. You put it on and it feels like the girliest fragrance you'd ever put on your body, and then out of nowhere it kind of bitch slaps you with this suede that is a little bit rugged, a little bit masculine, and it comes in and gives this fragrance some body, some heft, some extraness, some darkness. It feels dramatic. This is the one you wear to Burning Man. You wear the others to you wear the rest of Tomorrowland. It just comes alive on the skin. It gets more exciting as you wear it. It's hard not to love it. Let me take that back. This is a love or hate fragrance. The people who hate it are just like, I don't get it. It turns, it's not great. It's a little bit too aggressive. It's a little too masculine. I am not for it. People who love this fragrance, I find really appreciate it because not only is it affordable, but it smells fantastic. It lasts a long time. It is not your basic ass fragrance. It is doing something just a little bit interesting. I am here for this sweet Swiss Arabian gem because it has done right by me personally. Beautiful one. It smells like caramel. We get some apple, we get some grapes, we get some other shit, but it is a beautiful, beautiful option for spring, summer, and partying. I love this one. Hi, I'm Jeanique, and I don't beg for subscriptions because I'm a proud ass bitch, but just in case this sounds like I'm begging, I'm not. I'm just asking nicely. Would you please subscribe so we can get those numbers up? So yeah, let's get back to the video. Now we're getting into the Sunset Serenade fragrances. Now, when you have those music festivals happening at night, you're going to be seated. You got to be a little bit dressed up. Montel Jordan is on the lineup. Maybe Anita Baker. The last one I went to was headlined by Drew Hill, and it was amazing because they're all still giving. Y'all, it was such a vibe. Who was your favorite guy in Drew Hill? For me, it was Nokia. It really was. I was so in love. I was so in love. Beauty was basically about me, or so it was in my head. Anyway, I want to share these fragrances that are a little bit warmer, cozier, more for the nighttime feels, starting with the one that is a little bit sweeter and working up to something a little bit sexier, depending on who you're going to this jazz fest with. Right? So we're gonna get into these fragrances. So excited to share them with you. So let's get started. Now I should have gotten a much bigger bottle of this baby. It's Elie Saab's Girl Love Now. I should have known better because this whole line, so good. Shine, Forever, all of them are giving. And this one is for that Sunset Serenade. Why, you ask? Because this is nuttiness done right. Almond, pistachio. That is really what's ruling this fragrance, and they've done it so well. It's so creamy. So although the nuttiness is doing most of the work in this fragrance, really creamy, really pretty, a little bit sweet, we also have some work being done by orange blossom and other white florals, making this feel incredibly feminine and light, perfect for spring, summer, without losing a lot of the sweetness or creaminess we would want out of some of our fragrances. We have a little bit of patchouli that's not really doing any much work, and some cashmeran, just adding a little bit of texture and softness in this fragrance, and it finishes off with a little bit of tonka bean for, I don't know, so a little bit of creaminess. It's adding to everything and making this fragrance really just lovely, easygoing, not trying too hard, feeling very feminine, warm, soft, and very, very pretty. I love a nutty fragrance. It just adds just a little bit of interest to something like this, and it is doing that really, really well in this fragrance. Do not sleep on Elisab or Girl Love, no, because it is a beautiful set of fragrances, this one especially. Now, if you didn't want something that was too gourmand for a night out, that's a little bit fancier, you wanted something just a tad bit more elevated, less youthful, then I would say Terracotta from Guerlain is one of my favorites. It's a beautiful mix of vanillas and white florals. All the white florals are in here, y'all. I want to say Tiara florals in here, gardenia, a bunch of them. And we have some vanilla doing really sweet, beautiful, but light work in here. It is not texturally heavy. And they add a little bit of smokiness, a little bit of darkness, a little bit of depth, a little bit of like drama to the base of this fragrance without making it masculine or unisex or anything like that. Really underrated fragrance. Really enjoy this one. Terracotta is such a vibe of a fragrance. Y'all, Camera's Kawa. The more I wear this, the more I fall in love. The more I wear this, the more I scream for it. It is a really sexy, really dynamic, really interesting, full, kind of loud, kind of bombastic fragrance that mixes together main notes. It's coffee, it's dates, it's coffee, it's dates, a little bit of smokiness. I think coming off what feels like roasting coffee in here, that sweet jamminess of the dates coming through real heavy. It feels Middle Eastern, but it doesn't. It comes together in a way that I think is just really sexy. I think, you know, Camera itself reads pretty unisex in my opinion. I think this reads a little bit more feminine. It's the thickness, the sweetness. There's also some praline in here, so a little bit more of that gourmand energy, some cardamom, some ginger, mixing together to create a fragrance that'll make you feel really confident. And it makes me feel really confident, like I'm doing a whole lot with this fragrance. I'm making all kinds of statements with this fragrance. I feel like it's really sophisticated, it's grown, it's chill. You're not trying to hackle up yourself in this, you're trying to sit still and enjoy a nice show. And I think this is perfect for that sunset serenade vibes that I am going for with this category. This is the bonus fragrance. We don't need to have a bonus fragrance, but I'm going to add one in this time round. And this is Swiss Arabian's Nora, just in case you're looking for a much woodier perfume oil to add as a base to some of your lighter fragrances, just in case. So this is mostly sandalwood, and not the sandalwood we know and love, that creamy, softer version of sandalwood we find in a lot of feminine fragrances. This has a lot of hard edges. It feels like a very sort of dirty sandalwood that's going on with a lot, you know, almost charred sandalwood. This is how this fragrance feels. There's a little bit of honey, a little bit of saffron to lighten and sweeten the fragrance, but most of that doesn't come through till nearly the end when it's about to dry down. When you first put it on, it's a very aggressive woodiness. You want a little tops of it if you want to sort of elevate and amplify some of your softer fragrances. I'm so good at I'm so bad at Now we're getting into tropical oasis, those destination festivals that are out there. Not Fire Festival, not Fire. You know, you're going to Rebel Salute or Sting or Sumfest or any of like Ulterior's Jazz Fest. We have so many. I cannot name you other festivals in other Caribbean islands. I don't really know what happens in Jamaica. Let me just put that out there. So this is for if you're going to Jamaica. These are the fragrances I would recommend for festivals in Jamaica, basically. But I feel like they'd work for the whole Caribbean and South America and Central America. Anywhere warm, basically. We're gonna start off, babies, with Fleur Mango Mood. Right? Now, here's the thing. This is not going to last you long because it's a body splash. But you don't want to be choking anybody out in the hot sun of the Caribbean. We don't want it. You don't need it. We want something light that's going to disappear very quickly, especially because the sun might be real hot and the bodies might be real close. Now, Mango Mood is really pretty light. It's a little bit of a more tart, sour, green kind of mango. We get the mango flesh, that sweetness, that suppleness. We also get some mango skin, so a little bit of green freshness thrown in there to create something that just smells really tropical and beautiful and fun, low-key light, not trying too hard. But again, it is a body splash, so it won't last all day, but it isn't too sweet, and so in that heat it will perform really well for you. without making you just too aggressive with the fragrance. You know what I mean? Now the nights are cooler, so we maybe want to amplify things just a little bit, and maybe you are not into the body splashes of it all, especially when they're coming at floor prices, because it's not cheap like that. Not body splash cheap. But so here is Very Velvet Rouge. Let's talk about this one. This is from Maison Alhambra, and I slept on this fragrance initially, and the more I wear it, the more I like it, the more I enjoy it, because what it is a fruit bowl. It's a fruit bowl with things like kiwi and berries and the melon just sitting on a bowl in front of you. It doesn't give aggressive perfume action. It isn't super projecting. It's very light and easygoing. It smells like a fruit bowl turned into a perfume. Very airy, like a little bit sweet, a little bit watery, delicate, pretty. I hear this is a dupe of a Victoria's Secret fragrance of a very similar name with maybe velvet in the name. I'm not sure, but this one is a really pretty one that gets slept on, I think, because, you know, people don't know about it as much. But if you like a fruit bowl kind of energy, you don't need anything too aggressive, this is a fantastic option. A Very Velvet Rouge, and the packaging is mad cute. So I will say this is a great one to go with. Light, pretty, airy, a little bit sweet. Can't go wrong. I feel like you know what the next fragrance is going to be. I'm not even gonna hold you. It's Body Out with Sublime by my boys over at Lattafa. Yeah, y'all know how I feel about this fragrance. It is like In Juicy Apple from Kayali on steroids, because there is a little bit of woodiness in the back that sort of gives it a kick that makes it feel a little bit darker, more grown, more aggressive, more fun. We love her. She is a vibe. The performance gets better over time. It is not perfect. You smell that woodiness, you would expect 8, 10, 12, 24 hours. You don't get that. You get 5, maybe 6, and you settle. No, I have a lot of guy friends who love this fragrance. They smell it, they think it is so good. And I have some women around me who think it just feels a little bit too unisex, a little too masculine. So I will put that out. Maybe you love In Juicy Apple. You just want to stick to the candy-esque beauty of that fragrance, because I love it. It was almost in this category. I almost went with it. I almost also went with Coral Fantasy, because it's also giving tropical vibes, but I ended up going with this one instead because I feel like it reads really well at night. I gave you 2 daytime afternoon options. I need to give you something for those cooler nights on the beach that will do you well. It starts off real sweet, that very candied apple. It's sweet, it is yummy, it is fun, it is candy-esque, and then we get, they don't say there's woodiness in here, but there's at least either oud or ebony, something dark and aggressive and a little bit rare. It's like running on, coming at you from out of the back. That is in the base of this fragrance that gives it a little bit more pop, a little bit more attitude, and a little bit more of a vibe. It feels like a party. It feels unapologetic. It feels like Sting. This is what you should wear. This. Now this one almost didn't make the cut. There's another perfume oil that's giving tropical drink, but I stay talking about that one continuously. So I ended up going with this one instead, and it is Codlage Harimal Sultan. See, I have a memory. I remember things. It's another perfume oil. This is a bonus item. The perfume oils are bonus items. Now this one is essentially pineapple, plum, and peach. That is really what you're getting in this oil, accompanied by some woodiness and a little bit of florals. They're not really doing much work. It smells very candid-esque, and it is really this supple, sort of soft, slinky take on fruits coming together. So we talk about this one. It's like a fruit bowl. It feels very practical. It's bright. It is fresh. It feels like being on the beach, eating a fruit bowl and getting that sort of salt air and sea air. It feels very low-key chill. This feels like you're trying to seduce somebody. You see the bottle, you see what it's trying to give. It's very slinky, it's very sexy, and the fruits are coming together in a way that feel very round and voluptuous. Like, that is the vibe of this one, which is why I wanted to recommend this one, because we're going to catch flies with honey. I'm just saying. Beautiful fragrance. Love the perfume oil. There's an EDP version right now. I only have a 10 ml, 15 ml of it. Nothing much, but it has more woodiness and body to it. So if you want something a little bit darker, the EDP version gives that. But if you just want a beautiful perfume oil to put on your pulse points and attract everyone, this one does that, because pretty fruit vibes. So that's everything, all of the fragrances that I'll be reaching for this festival season, and I hope they are useful to you as well, because you're looking for a festival fragrance your goddamn self. No, here's the thing. I did a video last summer where I talked about my best of summer fragrances. Maybe there's some repeats from here, I don't know, but I will link that video just in case you're looking for fresher, more citrusy options. They're all in that video, and I'm a giver, so I'm gonna share it with you soon in this video. I will link it. Now, thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. You're a real one, because I'm a real one, and we see each other. And I hope you come back for the next one by subscribing and telling YouTube you like me and you want to know when I post. Thank you. Again, I am Jeanique, your resident deliverer of fragrances for this festival season, and I hope you appreciate me, because it's hard work, y'all. I'll see you in the next one with my perfume tray video. Bye, y'all.